there. Oh, hello, my dear sweet friends. It is so nice to see you guys. My name's Denise, and I'm here to tell you guys a bedtime story. This one, I can't wait to share with you guys, is called Sherman Crunchleigh. And it's about this cute little pup. I can't wait to see what adventures he has. So go ahead and go grab your stuffed animals. I have mine right here. I'm going to give him a big squeeze hug before we begin. Ooh. Thank you, Mark. He's always so good at hugs. All right, let's do it, guys. This is called Sherman Crunchleigh. Sherman Crunchleigh was a police officer. His great, you get the idea, grandfather was the first ever chief of police in Biscuit City. A Crunchleigh had been the chief of police ever since, including Sherman's great-grandmother was Zelda Crunchleigh. Kirby Crunchleigh, Sherman's father, was the current chief. In a month, when his father retired, Sherman was in line to take his place. But Sherman hated being a police officer. He only did it because it was expected of him. Sherman's problem was that he was too nice. He couldn't bear to say no to anyone or anything. When someone pleaded, "Please don't give me a parking ticket," he would say, "Well, okay," and look the other way. If he had to break up a fight, he would run in with a box of donuts and yell, "Free snacks!" to distract everyone. It's a good way of breaking up a fight. He ended up doing all the boring paperwork at the office because he was the only one who never said no to the sergeant. Sherman really didn't enjoy anything about his job except maybe the hat. Oh, look at all those papers. Sherman loved all kinds of hats. He had so many hats he hardly had room for anything else. At the end of the miserable day, Sherman made himself feel better by trying on his hats. One evening, when Sherman was trying on his sombrero, his mother phoned. She was planning a retirement party for his father. "Will you be in charge of party favors?" she asked. Sherman said yes because he couldn't say no. But he was going to have to tell his father he didn't want to be the chief of police. That meant having to say no, and somehow he had to do it before the party. I don't know about you guys, but I really love him in that sombrero. He decided to go to the library for help. Sherman found the perfect book, How to Say No. When he got home, Sherman realized it was a book about how to say no in foreign languages. He read it anyway. By the time he had finished, he could say no in Japanese, Spanish, French, and several languages he had never even heard of. But he still couldn't say no to his father. Now, nein, niet, nicht, non. All the different ways to say no. Hopefully I said them right. That night, Sherman couldn't sleep. While he was watching the late, you get the idea, show, he saw a commercial. It was a video called Must Say No. He ordered it with special next day delivery. Oh, love that chicken hat he's got. When it arrived, Sherman ripped open the box. The video was how to raise snails. They had sent him the wrong tape. He called the number on the box to complain. A nice lady answered. "Hello," she said. "Were you pleased with the tape, sir?" Sherman said yes and hung up. The party was coming up soon, and Sherman was growing more and more upset. When Sherman got upset, he liked to buy a new hat. He looked through the newspaper to see if there were any hats on sale. On the last page, he saw an ad that made him very excited. "Want to lose weight? Are you afraid of the dark? See me, Professor Hamboni, world's greatest hypnotist." That was it. If Sherman got hypnotized, he'd be able to tell his father. See if this plan works. Sherman called Professor Hamboni. The professor told him to come over right away. When he knocked on Professor Hamboni's door, a small dog wearing a big turban answered. "Nice hat," said Sherman. Then he told Hamboni his problem. "I can help you," said Professor Hamboni. He sat Sherman down in a chair and swung a golden dog tag slowly in front of Sherman's eyes. "You are getting very sleepy," he said. Sherman fell asleep immediately. "When you wake up, you will say, 'No, I don't want to be the chief of police,'" Professor Hamboni told Sherman. Then he tapped Sherman on the shoulder. Let's see if this works, guys. I don't know. Sherman woke up. "I don't want to be the thief of the fleas," he said. The professor tried again. When Sherman woke up, he said, "I don't want to be the chief of slow geese." "One more time," said Professor Hamboni, bringing out his special crystal. This time Sherman said, "I don't want to be the beef or the cheese." "I give up," said Professor Hamboni. Sherman gave up too. It looked as if he was going to be Biscuit City's next chief of police after all. Professor Hamboni tried. I wonder if there's any more options. At home, there was a message from his mother reminding him that the party was in 2 days. Sherman sighed and got to work on the party favors. He had decided to make everyone a different kind of hat. Even though he had fun creating them, Sherman was heartbroken. Then, as he was decorating a hat, he had an idea. A wild and crazy idea. But could he do it? Would he be able to pull it off? Check those wacky hats out. Like this green one. The night of the party, Sherman was really nervous. He watched while everyone danced and admired one another's party hats. Finally, it was time for Sherman's father to pass the Biscuit City Chief of Police badge on to his son. Sherman's mother said, "Please find your seat by looking at the place cards Sherman made." That looks like a great party. Wow. Everyone sat down. Sherman's father looked around the table. "Sherman, is this some kind of joke?" he demanded. Sherman stood up slowly. I have a confession to make," he mumbled. "I don't like being a police officer. I never have. I just couldn't say no." The crowd gasped. His mother fainted. Sherman waited for his father to start yelling. But his father began laughing instead. He laughed and laughed and, well, you get the idea. "I have a confession too, son," his father said. I don't really want to retire. I was only doing it because I thought you wanted to be the chief of police. And how could I say no to you? Sherman heaved a big sigh of relief. I guess you're the new old chief of police, he said. Hip hip hooray, Cousin Dudley shouted. Everyone cheered, including Sherman's mother. Would you like a job in the cafeteria? His father asked. Sherman thought for a second. No, thank you, he answered. Well, said his father. Then what are you going to do, Sherman? His mother asked. Oh, I'm sure I'll figure something out, said Sherman. Let's see what he does. Oh, Sherman's House of Hats. Do you think this is too fancy for me? No. Do you mind if I just browse? No. Do you ever miss police work? No. I love how Sherman did what he loved doing the most, and that's making hats. Even though he had to say no. Look how happy Sherman is now. I think that's a great book. That was so much fun, and I loved all of his hats. Maybe I'll get a hat of my own sometime. All right, guys, go ahead and let's hug our stuffed animals one more time before bedtime. Thanks, Mark. I hope you guys enjoyed the book, and thank you guys so much for letting me inside your homes. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.